your very best. For the best in Christian broadcasting, this is Maggie's FM 90.5 MHz.
From the radio service of Maggie Foundation International, good evening. Pleasant welcome to Maggie News Flow on FM 90.5. We transmit to you from Gompa City, Nimba County. Maggie News Flow brings a major happening in Liberia and the rest of the one world. In today's presentation, my name is Zika and this are our major stories. LBF autocratic rule, labor abuses. Liberia's grassroots defenders armed with tools to fight environmental injustice. Concerns mount over potential campaign for derail Arsenal mental expansion due acts in 2021. And away from Liberia, Sierra Leone calls back ambassador after drug seizure in Guinea embassy incident. Those were the news read in headlines. Now keep tuned as we bring you this and many other developments. Employees of the Liberia Broadcasting System have publicly condemned the leadership of Director Eugene L. Fagon, accusing him of autocratic governance, labor exploitation, and fostering a toxic work environment. In a press conference held in Pinksville, the LBS Workers Union presented a series of allegations against Mr. Fagon and issued a 72-hour ultimatum for him to address their grievances or give a vote of non-confidence. According to Joseph Sion, president of the Workers' Union, Fagon's leadership has been characterized by intimidation, harassment, and verbal abuse, resulting in a climate of fear and distrust within the state-run media organization. They described his management style as oppressive and detrimental to employee morale and productivity. The workers further alleged that Fagon had unilaterally suspended all employees' benefits outlined in the LBS Human Resource Manual without consultation or justification. They accused him of running the institution with an iron fight, creating an atmosphere of fear through intimidation and harassment. An example cited by the worker was the illegal dismissal of Peter Clinton from the operations department, which they have demonstrated Fagon blatant disregard for due process. Employees also claimed they were officially wrongfully abused without evidence, resulting in harsh discipline in union affairs, especially in the management of workers' canteen, according department, which they said demonstrates Fagon blatant disregard to due process. The union expressed promise to bring transformative leadership to LBS. Instead, they urge him. Texture has reversed many of the positive stressed under previous administrations. The worker also took issue with the cancellation of LBS annual Christmas party for employees' children, a decision they attributed to Fagon's poor leadership rather than the ongoing constitution work by the Chinese government on the LBS campus, as he had claimed. Further criticism has aimed at Fagon's apparent increase his personal the 750 to US 1,500 even as he suspended the workers' benefits. Meanwhile, the union claimed it had to rely on employee donations to support sick colleagues who were left without assistance. In response to the Director General's action, the worker union issued a 6-point demand, which includes the immediate restoration of all employees' benefits, an end of intimidation and harassment, and a halt to the targeting and threatening of senior staff and contractors. The union also called for the reinstatement of Peter Clinton, the arbitrary dismissed employees, and demanded that Fagon respect employees' right to free speech and a safe work environment. The workers emphasized that if these demands were not met within 72 hours, they will initiate a vote of no confidence against Fagon. Green Advocates International, in partnership with Worker Resource Institute (WRI), with the funding from the U.S. Department of State, hosted a 2-day capacity building workshop for grassroots environmental defenders, GEDs in Monrovia. The event held from January 16 to 17 brought together environmental defenders from Montserrat, Bombing, Grand Cape Mount, Bapolo, and Maggie County is aiming to enhance their advocacy skills in equipping them as part of the standing together with environmental being implemented in 8 counties as category issues that branch that's a director of environmental protection policy. The challenge offenders that drew inspiration from global figures. Dr. Yabalo also pledged the EPA's continued support. The workshop featured legal experts who provided practical guidance to participants. Councillor Tiawan Gonglo delivered a comprehensive statutory laws such as the Freedom of Information Act, APA, and land and money regulations. Of the improving results in secondary school, Mr. Abraham A. Kezulu has called on stakeholders, particularly politicians, education officers, CEOs, and district education officers, DEOs, if the education sector in Liberia is to be reformed. In an exclusive interview with the Liberian Investigator on Wednesday, January 15, 2025, Mr. Kezulu emphasized the appointment in the education sector should be based on merit rather than political connections. He noted that assigning individuals without the requisite qualifications to critical positions poses significant risks to the sector's development. Highlighting the impact of the IRS project, Mr. Kezulu disclosed that the initiative received US $440 million from the World Bank in 2018 to improve Liberia's education sector. Although this funding, the project has trained teachers in specialized projects, ensuring they are adequate. Not every college graduate is suitable for specialized training. Based on studies conducted across several county education districts, Mr. Kezulu explained that many districts lacked to a significant increase in enrollment in it. However, results have taught of school in rural engage in motorcycle-related strategies to bring these boys back into the classroom and stress the need to continue support for the government and its partners, particularly the World Bank, to sustain the RS program. The RS project funded by the World Bank aims to assist the government of Liberia in improving secondary senior education, grade 10 to 12, through innovative approaches and enhanced access, quality training and environment. The project at closing the access gap in secondary education for girls, leveraging through technical assistance, program coordination, monitoring, and management. Poland. If you are just flow, a news presentation that brings you major happening still ahead of this development is our news in the simple Liberian English as well as our foreign development. A continuous issue has risen surrounding the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated LTMR and its concession agreement with the government of Liberia, originally signed under the administration of former President George Manawia for $50 million, while profit tensions have escalated within the government, particularly between the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Transport, led by Minister Salif Taylor, has expressed dissatisfaction with the LTMR, arguing that the profit frame is assuming responsibilities that should belong to the ministry itself. in a surprising move, the ministry, which have already been contracted to LTMR, signaling potential disregard for the existing agreement. There is in Liberia, the contract based reputable in to provide technical inspection for the Ministry of Administration organize the entire project and fund a profit sharing agreement with the ministry along with key stakeholders. At a Senate hearing in 2024, Justice Minister Consider Oswald Toy and Transport Minister Taylor spread over the agreement. During the Senate Transport Committee hearing, Minister Taylor vocally opposed recognizing the LTMI agreement, asserting it to undermine the ministry's core functions by outsourcing essential details. He criticized a directive from the Ministry of Justice that mandates the transfer of significant responsibilities to LTMI, calling the management unfair. In response, Minister Toy characterized Toy's statements as misleading and unproductive, urging the government to honor established agreement. Following his election, President Bouaka tortured LTMR's facility with integrates multiple vehicles and driver licenses, including licensing and inspections. Bouaka expressed hope that the center could become a vital revenue source that the government once legal issues are settled. Despite indications that the Bouaka administration support the LTMI agreement, Minister Toy remains skeptical, warning the transferring fundamental responsibilities to the authority. Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gompa has hailed the launch of the IRS Agenda for Inclusive Development (AARD) and the County Development Agenda (CDAs) as a momentous step in Liberia's quest for economic growth and national resilience. Speaking at the launch ceremony in Bichana Grant, Placer County, Minister Gompa described the initiative as the foundation of Liberia's development framework for the next 5 years, emphasizing its focus on creating a prosperous and inclusive society. The event, which drew President Joseph Bouaka, senior government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, development partners, private sector leaders, and representatives of the diaspora Liberian, underscored the significance of the AARD and CDAs in increasing Liberia's pressing challenges and aspirations. The 8.38 billion development agenda aligned with Vision 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals, the African Union's Agenda 2063, and regional frameworks charts a global pathway for progress. It focuses on 6 pillars: economic transformation, infrastructure modernization, governance, environmental sustainability, human capacity building, and adherence to the rule of law. The plan targets significant economic and social outcome, increasing a 37% increase in GDP, extended life expectancy, and reduction. Gompa stressed the inclusive nature of the agenda, noting its foundation in nationwide consultations that capture the perspective of Liberians from diverse backgrounds, including farmers, youth groups, entrepreneurs, civil society, and people with disabilities. The financing of the AARD requires 8.38 billion, with 30% to be contributed by the government of Liberia and 70% expected from government partners, private sector actors, and other stakeholders. Mr. Gompa called for a unified approach, emphasizing emphasizing the need for collaboration among government entities, international organizations, and the Liberian diaspora to achieve the outlined goals. Tourism was highlighted as a cornerstone of the agenda, with power to establish Liberia as a premium travel destination by 2029. This vision includes showcasing the nation's cultural and natural heritage, developing ecotourism sites in all 15 counties, and boosting international tourist arrivals by 10%. Central to this effort are the establishment of a tourism authority, improved coordination within the sector, and initiatives to enhance investment opportunity, stakeholders' capacity. The launch ceremony acknowledged the greater contribution of the include the UAE that the student as confirmed the management associates Instagram departments are each feature of court has ordered the evacuation of Maxarado County District and Representative Frank Safo from a party 17 the people that are working there that they call the worker union, they from the Liberia Broadcasting System. They say the big man for that entity that they call Eugene El Fagon. The worker union say they may he can't treat them good. People say he can talk to them any way he want to talk to them. They say they man yeah, but where he's supposed to be taking weekly, they think the people call a Lawrence 750 USD every week, but they man yeah he not get that money way up to $1,500 USD American money. Even though we know men yeah, but the men saying the same work on New York big radio station there. And again, every Christmas the people yeah, they work on New York, their children, they used to go together have Christmas party for the time Jim from there, they can call it off. They also move what they call tech. That man, he was the ocean man there. Then again, that they call 72-hour ultimatum. They say they may yeah, if he not do the rightful thing, they will do the thing what they call vote of non-confidence against him Fagon. Then the other one year too if from one organization Ambassador Alimini Bangura, who was not present in the vehicle, has been called back to Freetown to clarify the situation. Kapa emphasized that the ambassador is not under investigation for involvement in the trafficking. He was confirmed that 2,000 in cash was found along the drugs, although the exact weight of the cocaine has not been disclosed. The two nations are cooperating on a thorough investigation with Sierra Leone, pleading to ensure accountability for anyone found breaking drug trafficking laws. The discovery comes as West Africa remains a key transit zone for cocaine trafficking for Latin America to Europe. The region is grappling with increasing local drugs abuse, with Sierra Leone's president declaring drugs misuse a national emergency last year. And finally, from our foreign development, South Africa authorities face growing anger over their handling of a standoff with illegal miners trapped in an abandoned gold mine, as the death toll from the incident reached at least 87. Authorities may help the miners and instead smoke them out of court, reported to have died for starvation and have been reported. Rescue attempts, when authorities said last year they would not help the hungers of miners because they were criminals. The talk said to smoke them out, as described by the prominent cabinet minister, was the biggest trade unions. Police and the mine owners were also accused of taking away ropes and dismantling a pull system that miners used to set from the surface. A court ordered authorities last year to allow food and water to be sent last week, forced them to launch a rescue operation. Manafura, CEO of the Mines and Rescue Service, hailed the rescue and recovery operation as a world first, with a unique machine that was developed and designed in South Africa by the mining industry. Many say the unfolding disaster on the ground was clear weeks ago, when community members solidarically pulled decomposing bodies out of the mine, some with notes attached pleading for food to be set down. South Africa's second biggest political party, which is part of the government coalition, called for the President Cyril Ramaphosa to establish an independent inquiry. Authorities now believe that nearly 2,000 miners were working illegally in the mine near the town of Sterkfontein, west of Johannesburg, since August last year. And that's the foreign developments on Maggie News Flow. Many thanks to our contributors who make sure this program comes through. And now to end this news presentation, the recap of our major development. Fagon of autocratic rule, labor abuses. Liberia's grassroots defenders armed with tools to fight environmental injustice concerns mouthed over potential campaign to derail action Meta expansion due as in 2021. On